A 2022 on a 22 registration Porsche 911 992 Carrera 4 GTS convertible. Now, it's a long title, but it's a rare car. These are few and far between. There is only a handful of these convertible 4 GTSs for sale in the UK at the moment. The wait time for one of these is still a very long time. And since this car has been produced and delivered, Porsche have put their prices up. So it represents, in my opinion, an incredible opportunity to own an incredible sports car. Now, this particular example, as I said at the beginning, is a 22 plate car. It's covered 3,000 miles from new, and it's finished in jet black metallic. It has 12,800 pounds worth of optional extras, and there are some really, really must-have, lovely bits that have been ticked on the option sheet for this car. Now, I'm an enormous 911 fan. These cars are as good as it gets for me, and the 992 GTS, it doesn't let you down. It is the most remarkable car to drive, and it is just that modern update from the 991 make using this daily it puts it in a different category of car. There is, in my opinion, no better all-round sports car in the world. Now, we're going to run you through some of the amazing features of the car, some of the lovely quirks inside as well, some very, very 911 bits. Coming to the front end and starting around here, this car has the LED headlights, so the Porsche PDLS, the Porsche Dynamic Light System, the LED headlight system with the 4 iconic daytime running lights on the outside of the main beam bulb there, which obviously is derived all the way back to Porsche's Le Mans days, about sort of 10 years ago when they started doing that with their Le Mans hypercars, now, or LMP1 cars at the time. Now, coming around the passenger side, what we have here is the split fit, so 20-inch at the front, 21-inch at the back, Turbo S, center lock alloy wheels. These are obviously bespoke to the GTS, so the standard 911 has 4 bolts. The GTS gets the Turbo S wheels with the Turbo S center lock system, so that bolt holds the wheel onto the car. Amazing red, guards red brake calipers there with the Porsche logo on the side of them, and those massive floating rotors for the discs there as well. An amazing looking wheel finished in a lovely satin black there as well. Coming down this side, another nice little optional extra on these, and these are small little details that you can option on a 911 these days. This car has the lower base of the mirrors color-coded to the car. I believe it's around a £200 to £300 option to have that done, so this isn't just finished in plastic, it all ties in. And that leads me very nicely to talking about this particular example. This car is jet black metallic with a full black interior. The color scheme black. Now, there is no other black examples for sale in the UK market at this time. So as we are advertising this car, there's not another one for sale in this, in my opinion, the best color scheme that you can have this car in. Coming inside, I'll open the door. These new, for the first time ever, 911s have flush door handles, and these new door handles, you can lift them and open them from the bottom there, and they stay out, which is a really lovely feature. Now go inside and look inside. £2,800 worth of optional extras inside this car, and you're staring at it. It's the 911 GTS interior package. This one in particular, finished in black with alcantara down the inserts, that's part of the GTS pack, and all of the contrast stitching finished in Crayon. Again, a lovely feature here, carbon illuminated door sills. So as I said, this car has some really, really wonderful items ticked on its option list. Coming down the back end of that famous 911 shape, and here for me is where these cars really, really step forward from their predecessor. The 911 Carrera 4 GTS in 992 is a big car. It has a big presence. This back end is massive, the front end is big too. It really has a much bigger road presence than the car that came before it. Obviously, a lovely 992 addition is the full-length light bar that comes all the way across the back of the car there, and it's lovely sort of cutouts as well from the inside of the rear lights to the light bar and in, and then those lovely Porsche lettering on the bottom of that section there, which for me, again, these details that Porsche have gone to really, really work. All the badging in matte black, going with that black color scheme that this car has got. And going back to that interior, I'll talk about it in a minute, but the Crayon contrast stitching really breaks all that black color up as well. So a really beautifully spec car, this. The GTS exterior pack as standard with the car, but you can see some of the sport design sections on the back of the rear bumper there. They're really wonderful to look at. And obviously you've got these metallic black finished tailpipes as well there. And this car does have the Porsche Sports exhaust system. Coming down the driver's side, another lovely option. This car is also fitted with the sports design side seals. They're a much wider side seal than the standard car. And again, that is not a GTS item. That is a cost option, so a really lovely little feature. So for me, this is one of the best looking cars out there in the market today. Jumping into the driver's side, and again, I'll hark back to what I was mentioning about the Crayon stitching. If you have a look, I feel like the Crayon stitching across the whole car, the door cards, the seats, the top of the dashboard, really subtly but beautifully breaks up all of that black leather interior and the alcantara. This is an amazing place to sit. And now we'll go through the door card and run you through some more optional extras. Carbon fiber interior zone, and that starts on the top of the door card there with that really beautifully fitted piece of carbon on that little bit of trim there, going into these lovely matte black door handles, which are a lovely big door handle, very different from the previous model. Memory seats for the driver, which is wonderful, and then that leads me beautifully to a very, very important cost option. 18-way adaptive sports seats. Now these are the hard-backed sports seats with Porsche GTS stitched into the headrest there, also in Crayon. An amazing optional extra. For me, one of the biggest standout features in a 911, and because it's so expensive, it's a very rare thing to see in one of these cars. Of course, all of these new 992 cars are keyless. So this is Porsche's keyless system. It's got a sort of a dummy key in there, and you just spin it round. Fire that amazing 3-litre twin turbo flat 6 into life. And I'll start to run you through some of the controls inside. What you probably saw was the steering wheel move down as I turn the ignition on. That's because this car is fitted with an electrically adjustable steering column. So it goes in, out, up and down. Again, a cost option. And this heated multi-function GT steering wheel is another lovely cost option that this car has fitted to it. Finished in leather, which is wonderful. The heated button for Porsche steering wheel, as you can see, is just switched on there. The button is on the back of the steering wheel in this little section between the bottom spokes. Again, a lovely Porsche thing they've carried over. I always enjoy showing customers where that is because it's almost like it's hidden. Then you've got this amazing, harking back to 964, 993 day layout of the dials, except obviously with a 21st century edge now, and you've got the digital dash either side of that original analog rev counter in the middle there. And going back to Crayon, it's a cost option to have that rev counter finished in Crayon as it is there, and it really is beautiful. And I love that Porsche have kept an analog rev counter. I think that is absolutely vital to the heritage of this car. The controls on the right of the steering wheel control your right hand multifunction display over here. And again, Porsche have gone to something that I would the sports dynamic adjuster button, which is down on this section of the steering wheel. I like to call it a Manatino. I know that's a Ferrari thing, but it does the same thing. Adjust all your drive modes, and you can hear the exhaust open up there. Sport, Sport Plus, individual. New for the 992s is a wet driving mode, and obviously most of the time you're going to leave it in drive and normal. You do have the emergency response button, the sports response button, which will give you the car's maximum performance for 20 seconds, which is a really helpful system. Allows you to get out of any tricky situations on the road or on the motorway, anything like that. The little green A shows you that the car has high beam assistance with those LED headlights at the front, which is really lovely to see. And then obviously you've got your left-hand counter with your actual speedo, your time and your temperature. Amazing amount of information on those displays and really, really beautifully laid out. Typical Porsche. Cruise control down here, which is a really lovely feature to have, a must-have in one of these cars, because again, because it is a 911, touring in one of these cars is so easy because they're so comfortable as a sports car. So cruise control for those big European roads, a really lovely thing to have. And then moving across the dashboard, We'll start at the top with the sports chrono clock, again matching in Crayon, matching the rev counter, a lovely cost option as well, really, really nice to see. And then into the new infotainment system, Porsche's new infotainment system. I believe this is PCM 5. And if I go to continue as a guest, and we'll deactivate that, you'll see this is the new system coming to life. It has Apple CarPlay, it has Android Auto, it has all of the modern technology that you'd imagine. Porsche still have their own inbuilt navigation system. The screen is super responsive and super high definition. It's an amazing screen, and you can adjust a lot of the drive modes that you see on the steering wheel. You can adjust them inside the car as well. You can extend the spoiler, adjust the chassis down here through all of its drive modes. The sports exhaust system you can switch on and off. I don't know if you can hear it, but the car just got a lot louder. That can all be done through the screen as well as the drive mode on the steering wheel, which is really lovely to see. In terms of assistance, you have your park assist system, which is obviously your park sensors, and that leads me very, very nicely to another amazing cost option on this car. The 360 surround camera system with top view. In Porsche, it's super intuitive. We're looking out the front camera at the moment. If I touch this camera here, it swaps to the back camera. It's a fabulous, fabulous system. You have a different set of views, which is called the panorama view, which gives you a much wider angle to the cameras as well. And then if we see, I'll press that again. If I press it off again, I believe, maybe if I press this one, that gives you the drop views in the mirrors. And then I can go straight back to the front camera, I believe. It will show you the drop views from the forward-facing perspective, and then straight back to the camera section, which is the parking camera. You go back to the original augmentation of that system. Extra buttons for adjustability below the sat-nav screen. Sports exhaust, the easy to go to fast button to press there. So obviously if you just want to make a bit more noise, you can go straight to your sports exhaust and adjust it manually yourself. And then look at the beautiful matte carbon weave across all of the dashboard inserts. The carbon fiber interior zone in this car, for me, a must have in a GTS. Coming back to the main screen, we're going to come down the center console here. Dual zone climate control, obviously exactly what you'd imagine in a car like this, but all of these new Porsche controls are really beautifully built, beautiful materials and quality put into this car. The new micro-sized gear shifter, which I think is a little controversial. It's the first time that's been done in a 911, but really sits very nicely in the V-shaped gear tunnel. Park assist, and you've got a manual override for the driving modes for the gearbox, so you can go straight into manual. Again, that's a lot easier than in its predecessor to activate. The electric controls for your obviously convertible hood, because it is a GTS cabriolet, and then Porsche have retained something really special. That is one of the best wind stoppers I have ever used in a car. It was fabulous in the 991. It's equally fabulous in this. It's so beautifully integrated. No need for a big, lumpy, separate wind deflector, wind stopper that you carry in your bonnet and take out of a bag. It's built into the car. Easy to deploy, easy to put away, massively effective on long, high-speed roads. Heated seats down here, the carbon interior zone finished beautifully around the handbrake section at the back here, and this cup holder here is removable if you do want extra storage down there. Nice little nose, little bits of things to know about the car. You've got another sort of section for your phone, which I believe boosts your signal, and 2 USB-C ports in the back there. I mean, overall, this car is just fabulous. It's just an amazing car. I may be a little bit biased. I love 911s. I don't think anything comes close, but this is something that I would have. It's definitely a specification that I would order. Definitely a resaleable specification as well. It is the classic 911 color scheme, and this car is a remarkable example. So as we said from the beginning, 3,000 miles, 2022 on a 22, jet black metallic with £12,800 worth of cost options. A really, really rare car, and I believe the only black color scheme car advertised in the UK market at the point of doing this video. I hope this video has helped. My name's Matthew. Thank you for watching.